morning, everyone. I appreciate you joining us as we talk about the Build America, Buy America implementation. Our goal today is to understand the new legislation that came out last year, discussed our proposed contract language, and really to talk about the department's role in reviewing what the document says and to implement some sort of strategy as to what materials are affected, and kind of show you that matrix that was developed and show you our database of every single material that's in our specs. This was a huge effort, huge internal effort. We had to get some consultant assistance to pull all this together. And our goal in this is to be transparent in everything we're doing and to hopefully provide some sort of clarity to our contracting community and our suppliers for all of our projects that are going to construction, because we really want to bounce this off of you, see if there's any areas where you're going to struggle. Because if you're going to struggle, we're going to struggle. And the way we're looking at this is going to be a team effort to remain compliant with the new regulations from the federal government. With that, I'm going to jump right into it. So the Build America, Buy America Act came out last November 2021. What came from there was the Office of Management and Budget released some interim guidance in April. And through that interim guidance, they basically said every state needs to be compliant by May 14th of this year, which was like a month. So fortunately, they gave us a 6-month waiver, 180 days. So the new implementation date for every state receiving federal funding to be BABA compliant is November 10th. All of our efforts have been built around meeting that goal. And I can tell you today, I feel like we're in a very good place to kind of roll out some guidance, put language in our contracts, and to be BABA compliant. But that November 10th date rolls around in a couple weeks. A few key excerpts from the BABA. Of course, all iron and steel must meet Buy America. That's nothing new. All of you, I'm sure, are familiar with that. What BABA did was kind of expand into all manufactured products and construction materials. And we're going to get into all of these. So basically, every single material is going to fall into one of these categories: iron or steel, manufactured products, and construction materials. DelDOT, through reading the law itself, took it upon ourselves to kind of expand that a little bit more and make 5 categories. So you're going to get 5 categories. Every material is going to land in one of 5 categories. So some key excerpts from part 2. They talk about construction materials. Now, this is every single material, non-ferrous metals, PVC, glass, lumber, drywall. So that's one of the categories that materials can fall under. And the other one is manufactured products. And the definition under BABA for a manufactured product is an item that consists of 2 or more listed materials that have been combined together through a manufacturing process. So again, those are the 3 main categories, and I'll get to the other 2 we added. In reading BABA, there is an existing there are existing FHWA waivers that are currently out there. We'll have a list of these on our website if you care to go down the rabbit hole and read those. One of the big ones is the 1983 waiver, which provides a waiver for manufactured products. As we speak right now, that waiver remains in place. However, if you read the BABA language, there's a conflict with the 1983 waiver. So through extensive conversations with FHWA, currently that 1983 waiver is in place. As such, the matrices that we developed, the database for every material that we developed, is going to maintain that manufactured product. If anything is, we will update that spreadsheet. We will update the information that's going to be on our website, so all of you are made aware. Again, the key to this is communication, open dialogue with our contracting community and our suppliers. what do you need to know about BABA legislation? Every single federally funded project, money that this Delaware receives from the federal government, will need to be BABA compliant in order to continue receiving those funds. That means all permanent materials must fall into one of the BABA categories, and you'll need to make sure that they are certified as Buy America. As you're all aware, current DelDOT language for Buy America, everybody's seen it. This is in all our federally funded projects. This language is going to get revised to this language. There's page 1, there's page 2. So when BABA comes into effect and we have federal dollars on a state project, after the November 10th date, you're going to see this revised language in there. Now, is this language 100% what the language is going to be in the contracts? We're not yet. We're about 95% there with the contract language. This is going to give you a good idea of what that language is. So just expect to see these in federally funded projects. State funded projects are not going to have this language in them. Sorry, Mike. If you'll notice on there's a website on here, DelDOT.gov, materials section, work with IT. We're going to have a website dedicated to this new BABA laws, and we're going to have all the information from the BABA law, the waivers, the matrices, the spreadsheets. Everything's going to be on that website for you to be able to access at any time. It's going to be on DelDOT.gov, business, doing business, and you click on the approved products list, and then you'll see the link in there for the Buy America. What you need to know about the contract language. BABA requirements has to do with the sourcing of the material. So when a contractor submits a bid, they're going to have to certify that that source of material meets Buy America requirements. It's the department, we're here to kind of provide the guidance on which materials need to meet BABA and certify them as Buy America. However, it's the contractor's responsibility to maintain that compliance and maintain that documentation that it was purchased in America. And again, our whole point of this is we recognize this is a big lift. We want to provide clarity because we're all in this together. And if you have a problem, so I'm giving all you contractors and suppliers some homework. If you know of a material that is hard to get in America, that you can't buy it in America, and it's going to cause problems with it, providing on a project, I'm going to ask that you kind of let us know what material that is. There is a waiver process for some materials. It's long. They've already told us that it's long. It's meant to be long. They don't plan on rubber stamping waivers, so it's going to be a complicated process. But if there's a material that's going to prevent us from building projects, the sooner we know about that material, the sooner we can put in for a waiver. So again, we know this is a big lift. And we're just asking that you kind of help us keep moving in our state, keep getting projects pushed forward in our state. The BABA matrix. The BABA matrix is sort of the starting point in figuring out what category the material falls into. So if I can kind of, if you read the matrix at all, send it out to you. Some of you opened it and closed it immediately because it's pretty big. And I understand that. I probably would have done the same thing. However, you really have to get into the weeds of some of this. But this matrix was created to take the federal Office of Management Budget description, Office of Management Budget's requirements, and then there's our interpretation of those requirements, which helps us categorize each material. So we're going to provide you some examples a little bit later on to kind of go through the process that we took for every single material. Here's a copy of the matrix itself. As you can see, you probably can't read it. You can't read this, but it is an email that I sent you. But what I really want you to take note is the 5 categories that we've created. We have I can just back up here. We have the non-permanent material. So anything temporary is exempt from BABA. So that's one category. Any of your shoring, false work, things of that nature. It does not need to meet BABA requirements. Iron and steel, you already know about that one. Nothing new. That still needs to meet Buy America. Construction material exempt, and we'll go into what construction material exempt is. That a lot of that is built around. That is the exemption of cementitious materials. The fourth category is construction materials, and then the last category is manufactured product. So every material is going to fall into one of those categories. Matrix categories. So again, I just went over a lot of these. Non-permanent material exempt, iron and steel, construction material exempt, construction material, and manufactured product. Non-permanent material exempt. This is your temporary material, scaffolding, anything brought to the project, any of your forms does not need to meet Buy America. All that interpretation is exempt. Manufactured product. Federal Office of Manufacturing Guidance consists of two or more materials. Those materials that have been combined together through a manufacturing process. Now, in going through some of this early on, looking at if you're trying to figure out what a manufactured product is, just about everything we use could be a manufactured product. A lot of that has to do with what's built at a plant and what's put together on the project. And we'll kind of go through some of those examples a little bit later here. And there's also language in the OMB requirement that the cost of components of the manufactured product that are mined or produced in the United States is greater than 55% of the total cost of components of the manufactured product. Very confusing, I know. But fortunately, we hire some smart people to help interpret all this and help us put every single material into a category. Iron and steel, nothing new here, you're already aware. Construction material exempt. This is any cement, cementitious materials, aggregates, stone, gravel, and aggregate bonding agents and additives. I know that's a big one. We're aware of some additives that are put in some of the hot mix that we really can't, that aren't produced in the United States. So those are exempt. Construction material. Now this is pretty much everything. This is non-ferrous materials, PVC, glass, lumber, drywall. All the manufacturing process has to have occurred in the United States. That's the key here. Construction material part 2. So Office of Management and Budget understands that every single construction material goes through some sort of level of refinement, right? You have to do something with it. You're not just pulling it out of the ground and using it. It goes through some sort of refinement process. So they highlight the need to choose a consistent analysis point. And for us, that is the source of supply submittal. So that's kind of what we're going to request is when you submit that source of supply, you can go through the spreadsheet that we have and see what you need to certify to for each material. And on your source supply, we're going to ask that you certify what that material is to meet BABA. And for us, it provides clarity to you, and that was our goal through all of this. Manufactured product part 2. The key understanding here from our interpretation is manufactured product is creating a list of construction materials. From here, we created a BABA flow chart. Every single material in our specs was kind of brought through this flow chart to figure out what category it's going to fall into. Okay, so we took every single fit item, which was over 6,000 plus, I believe, Mike, is that correct? 6,000 plus items, and inside every single one of those items are materials, 3, 4, 5 materials in those items, and every single one of those materials was cataloged and lands into one of those 5 categories. Extensive process. I'm going to give you some of these examples that we went through for every single one of the materials. Here we have Silt Fence, okay? So you're going to submit your source of submittal for Silt Fence, and the first question that comes up is the pay on prescribed materials that are incorporated into the final infrastructure of the project. No, it's temporary. So that means it's exempt, right? Easy. Let's get a little more complicated. Reinforced concrete pipe, 21 inch. We look at the at the spec for pipe and the materials. You see reinforced concrete pipe, takes concrete, flowable fill. Sometimes it takes wire and reinforcement. So in analyzing this item, does this material incorporate into the final infrastructure? Yes, this is a permanent item. Okay. Does the material consist solely of iron or steel? No, it does not. And the third question is material comprised solely of one material of similar type listed in the Department of Structure Management materials list? Does not. As such, this is a manufactured product. Again, all 6,000 items of material ran through this exercise. Corrugated polyethylene pipe. Does this pay item prescribed materials incorporated in final structure? Yes. Does material consist of iron or steel? No. Does it comprise solely one material or similar type listed in the Department's construction materials list? No. Again, it's a manufactured product. Concrete pavement. Now we recognize concrete pavement as steel. Concrete pavement is concrete, stone, water, fly ash. The source of supply, you're going to have your concrete plant, which is going to be previously approved. I'm pretty sure you're batching your concrete in the United States. Then we're also going to have the reinforcing steel aspect of the concrete pavement. Is it a permanent item? Yes. Does it consist of iron and steel? No. However, the steel you submit for the concrete pavement still will need to meet the Buy America spec for iron and steel. But for just the concrete portion, it's going to be your batch plant. It's going to be your certification. Sorry, got a little ahead of myself here. My apologies. Again, looking at the concrete for this, the concrete does not include iron or steel. So this is going to be a manufactured product. Iron and steel you're going to submit like you always do. Concrete for the concrete pavement is manufactured product. Our BABA database, again, we did this for every single pay item, unit of measurement, pulled every single material out for every piece. And what we're asking you to do is when you submit those source supplies, you pick out the category that it belongs to and attach it to your source supply submittal. And this will help us all stay BABA compliant. Here's an excerpt from the spreadsheet itself. It shows Silt Fence. Okay, so when you contractor's going to submit Silt Fence, please iron steel, no. What we're going to ask you to do is submit your certification of compliance of non-permanent material exempt. Reinforced concrete pipe. When you submit the source supply for reinforced concrete pipe, does it include permanent iron and steel? Yes. So you're going to have to submit for the iron and steel, and you're also going to submit for the plant where that pipe is being batched. And it's going to, so your source supply is going to meet BABA category manufactured product. Polyethylene pipe, no iron and steel. So when you submit your source of supply for polyethylene pipe, you're going to have a certification of compliance under the category, BABA category of manufactured product. Reinforcing steel. This one should be simple because we've already been doing this. Again, see your source of supply, reinforcing steel. It includes iron and steel. So yes, your source supply submission is certification for compliance under the BABA category, iron or steel. 501, this is concrete pavement. You submit your source supply, you're submitting your concrete batch plant and mix site. Something that a lot of you you're already doing this. This is going to be an update to our materials manual as well, showing the concrete plant mix ID when you do your source of supply. So the concrete portion does not contain permanent iron and steel. So the source supply submission is going to be Acceptance Program 4.3, which will be described in the updated materials manual. So this is going to fall under source supply category for BABA under as a manufactured product. I referenced the 1983 waiver. This thing is gold to us right now. I don't know. Right now it's sticking. I don't know if it's going to stay because, in my humble opinion, it's just Mark Buckley's opinion, not the department's opinion. Mark Buckley's opinion is, if you read the BABA law, it conflicts with this, it directly conflicts with this 1983 waiver, but it's very important that we maintain this waiver because it releases us from jumping through a lot of hoops for Buy America for manufactured product. So right now, this waiver is still in effect. We're going to push that this waiver remains in effect because it impacts a lot of items and a lot of what you do to bring materials into the project. Again, this waiver is on our website. You can click on it, read through the waiver. It's very long, but it is very impactful. So my suggestion is you pull this waiver and read through it so you understand what it is and what it says. So I know I ran through that kind of quick. This is a very deep topic. There's a lot to it. What I didn't want to do is bore you. You get into the weeds and bore you. I could, but I wanted to try and keep your attention with this because it is very important. I wanted to present for you the information that, as the department interprets the information from BABA, show you the kind of the matrix that was developed, the flow chart for every single material. And again, we provided you the spreadsheet of every single material, what category it falls under. If you have any concerns, questions, I mean, a lot of these you could probably debate. I know a lot of contractors, you like the loopholes. I'm pretty sure there's loopholes in this. We can talk through these. Just keep in mind that we've been working with FHWA to get their perspective on these. This isn't being driven by FHWA. It's the Made in America office. So there's a lot of conversations. There's a lot of gray out there right now. But as of right now, if you just follow the spreadsheet that we have, the state we've done everything we could to kind of provide you the information. And we believe we're in a very good place to be BABA compliant. The FHWA recognizes our efforts. FHWA is on board with us that, following our procedures that we established, you will also be BABA compliant if you follow every single one of those materials and submit those in your source of supplies. I asked Mike Norman put together this PowerPoint. Not gonna lie, I said, Mike, don't put any curb ramps on here, so I put a curb ramp on here. Whoever's doing this did a great job. I'm sure there's something wrong with it, but it looks great. With that, if you have any questions, I'm going to ask that you type your questions in. We have everybody muted because it was either mute everybody or open mic for everyone. Quite honestly, I wish I had a mute button in real life. With some of you, not all of you. So with that, if you have any questions, Andrew's going to read them off and we'll answer them best we can. No questions yet. So I will say, if you have questions, again, a lot of this is very deep. You can get into you can go down a rabbit hole with it. If you have questions, please email myself and Mike Norman. Mike Norman's email address is up there, but it was in the email that I sent to you. Please email us. We will read through it. We will look into it. We will find you an answer. And we're going to figure this thing out together. As I said before, we're in this thing together. We all have a vested interest in this. I know our contractors do, our material suppliers do, DelDOT staff does. So, no questions yet?
No.
What time are we at?
11:54.
11:54. Okay, so I'm finishing 35 minutes early. Last chance.
This will also be recorded and posted.
Thank you. So this will be recorded, unfortunately for me, and it'll be posted on the website, which I think they're doing a YouTube link for this. No questions. Well, we must have did a really good job, and contractors know exactly what they're supposed to do then. So I won't expect any questions in the future. Very good. Thank you, everyone. All right. So That's it. All right, we just got a question. Did I just close this thing out? Am I still on?
Yeah, we can see
On the
it.
screen, yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
It's from Jeff. One of the 5 categories were exempt: cement, aggregates, etc. How does this impact section Portland Cement 1022?
So they're going to submit the plant, right? They're going to submit the plant that they're going to be using as a manufactured product.
And the materials that are part of that are exempt, that are listed as exempt. So the manufactured product is a manufactured product, but then all the materials that make up concrete production are going to be exempt.
Correct. So your
Essentially except the water.
right? Your stone, your cement, all of that would be exempt under the
Only
manufactured product.
reinforcing materials.
Sorry?
Only reinforcing materials.
Yeah, reinforced materials if they're separate.
If there's reinforcement in there, you will have to submit that as Buy America for the reinforcement. Any more questions? Shy contractors. It's new. It's new.
I didn't know they were.
So I did have somebody text me a question. Do you get PDHs for this? No, because I didn't go a full hour.
Nothing more.
Very good. Thank you, everyone.